Welcome back, guys. We got the back nine coverage of the second skins match coming to you guys, and I got my boy Rob here again with me.
Yeah, super excited to see what we got. Got some making up to do. Everybody does really coming after Bruce and Ethan once they took that big five skins on the last
Yeah,
hole there in the front nine.
$50 on hole 9, putting them pretty securely in the lead, so let's get right into it. Hole 10, par 3, 406. The road and across plays OB, so you got two lines. You can play super safe, staying right of the road and trying to find a gap down through the trees, or you can get aggressive, throwing some kind of a flex shot across the road and going all the way to the basket. This might be the trickiest hole with out of bounds, just because if you do choose to get aggressive and you mess up just a little bit, that OB comes into play. Just like there, it looked like it kicked Ethan straight out of bounds off those trees into the road.
Yeah, not a bad drive at all, just a little bad luck at the end there.
I mean, and all you see off the tee here, you can't see the basket because it's just down the hill past the road. You just see a wall of trees, so it feels like a poke and hope, but really you just have to commit to a line. And it looked like Bruce committed to a line, but wasn't quite the line that maybe he wanted it to be.
Yeah, definitely trying to turn that over, and that just ties it out quick. Just with Bruce, he's got such a good forehand that had to just be a misfire.
But thankfully, they're playing safe now that they're still in bounds, so they can get up and down 4 or 3 if they can get a good upshot. Looked like Mark tried to get aggressive across the road, throwing that D1 again, just caught those trees on the left, dropped him straight down. Looks like maybe some decision making from Elijah on what disc to throw. Looks like he's breaking out that moonshine plastic. He loves throwing that in the cold weather because as soon as that hits a tree, it kind of just crumples up and falls. Not necessarily crumples up, but it's just so soft and flimsy that it just doesn't go anywhere. Definitely doesn't break like you would see a lot of discs do.
That definitely had potential to break with that tree hit, though. Just gonna say.
And they're super grateful that rolled back in bounds. That looked like another OB drive for sure.
All right, here I go, flicking a Lucid Raider right here. Finally trying to do some work as a teammate.
That is the shot you want to see. Making the catch cam guy move, it's always a big time drive. Finishing maybe just inside the circle, possibly right at edge of circle. I mean, like I said, anytime you make that catch cam guy move, you've done something good. And these first two teams have kind of left the door open for you guys. I mean, nobody's too terribly far off the fairway. Coleton looks like he committed and just scooted back out of bounds on that roll.
Yeah, so that's going to give me a little cash money right there with the CTP.
Yeah, we had another $5 CTP for this hole. We got some more coming up on 12 and 13 as well. And these guys from way back trying to get something up there close to put some pressure on you guys.
And that pushed up there. You want a little turn at the end, but nice long shot from Elijah.
I think maybe the forehand might have been the more secured play, but with the result from his drive, maybe he was a little nervous to reach back for that forehand again.
Most definitely.
These guys are in a really tough spot, really far to the right, off of the tee. You can't quite say they're off the fairway, but they're definitely far away from where you would normally define the fairway as.
Yeah, not a great position to attack.
Looks like coming in high up there on the screen. Catches some trees, puts them just outside circle, solidly in circle 2, giving them a chance, but they're going to have to cash in something there. Not as aggressive as I thought Ethan might get with a skip off the road from there. I don't know if the wind was coming into play or if he just, maybe the wrong disc selection.
Yeah, now we got some pretty far par putts here coming, and we're pretty close for a birdie look. So
hitting that basket there and spitting him right back out. That would have been a highlight putt for sure. Basket doing him dirty.
Oh man,
that would have been to put some serious pressure on you guys right here. I mean, there's Ethan missing just a hair wide, and looks like Bruce trying to save this 3 to push you guys even farther.
definitely committed, just overshoots it. And this putt right here doesn't really matter. We can just kind of pitch up and take our par. We're both kind of wanting to make it, but as long as we get a par here, we're still winning the hole, taking another skin.
Yeah, I mean, no faults for y'all for not running that, but there's $10 for you guys. I mean, those are some putts you would like to see made to kind of get some traction going in the back nine, but I mean, definitely a solid hole here. Hole 11, par 3, 315. You got 2 lines, 1 out wide and 1 on the inside gap. The inside gap doesn't get you as close to the basket, but still gives you an inside circle putt for the birdie.
I believe Coleton's flicking this Thunderbird right here. He was pretty money with this disc all day, front hand and backhand.
Almost skipping into the basket. I think that tree might have kept him pretty close there. It's gonna open up the door for you guys and maybe close the door on some of these other teams.
Yeah, and I flicked down there too. I kind of cut into that earlier gap. Not a terrible shot, but already got a partner parked pretty much down there.
What Ethan's doing wearing shorts in 30-degree weather, we will never know. I don't know how we're just now realizing that into this coverage. I mean, we made fun of him for it during the round, but sitting here looking back on it post-production, maybe a 360 flick from Bruce.
He's been known to get a little squirrely with that sometimes. I don't know about a gap this tight.
I think he was kind of saying, no, I'm not going to do it. But that'd be entertaining to watch right here. Just a little teasing.
Bruce. But what a shot, though, if it stays clean.
Oh, it hit that tree. Drops him in the middle of the fairway. No, not a bad shot. Still halfway up there, but would have preferred that to get just a little sneakier around that one.
Mark powering a flick down there.
Man, that looks smooth. Looks like he got a little tree kick, maybe back to the right. Probably helped him. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, just outside circle. It's a pretty good result. It's gonna open the door up a little bit more, kind of sticking the foot in, keep you and Coleton from closing it on him.
Most definitely.
And just an errant drive. I think that may be from where Elijah was digging post holes yesterday. I think he said, I mean, you hear him a couple times say, don't film this, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, Elijah's such a solid player.
It's like he knows when he's going to throw a bad shot and when he's going to throw a good shot. And unfortunately, that's a bad shot from Bruce. You've got a pretty wide open gap there that they could go through, and I guess he just pulled it. And Ethan doing the same thing. Why he's laughing about that one, I don't know, but good that he can laugh off the bad shots and get back to throwing the good ones. Just a little early. I don't know if the commitment wasn't quite there from that one.
All right, let's see if Ethan can bust out some more magic.
Not quite, just a hair wide again. But that's okay, because there's the putting we saw from Mark in the last skins match, just draining him in. There's Coleton's phenomenal drive there as well. Hole 12, par 3, 392. This is in the long position, and we're doing a long drive, which is really just like a CTP on this one, because the longest drive here is probably going to be the closest to the basket.
Right, if you absolutely bomb it, you might find yourself on the next tee pad or down in the pond.
I mean, the lake is definitely not where you want to be, or the pond. Either way, and maybe an unfortunate cut roller from you. I don't know if that just got away from you, or
it got away from this entire hole. I know that.
That looks like a great shot from Coleton. Getting way down there. They're taking that straight gap. Caught a tree late.
If it wouldn't have hit that tree, it would have been inside circle, but still a bomb.
And they're showing you that line from the whole preview. Throw something just dead straight with some hyzer at the end. And looks like Mark was trying that turnover line that you also saw in the preview, but just didn't quite get the line right. You kind of want to throw at that V tree, those two darker trees right there in the middle, and go just outside of them. going towards the left side of the fairway. I think Elijah was trying for maybe a forehand roller off the tee.
Yeah, maybe caught a root or something down there. Got a funky bounce right when it hit, so.
Not sure the decision making there. There's that up the gut line from Ethan. Looks really good. I don't see it hit anything.
Me
so
either.
He's going to be pretty close. Maybe just a little short because it looked like that disc was moving pretty slow. So probably a slower speed disc. Maybe like an Explorer. And Mark taking the up the gut route, which you don't see hardly ever. Not a super great result, but that's still, you got a partner that's up there close. So you can kind of
definitely
get a little crazy.
And that is just a great upshot right there, parking it.
Textbook from Elijah. Looks like we may have missed Mark's upshot, but I don't see any complaints with taking Elijah's upshot there.
Yeah, this is mine and Colton's lie. We're both making bids.
Nothing too crazy. I don't think. I mean, we brought out the Bushnell again for this one. I think Ethan took that long drive or that CTP by half of a foot. So, I mean, both of those, Coleton and Ethan, were both neck to neck there with super close drives. So far, two teams taking a 3, easy par. We'll see if these guys can cash in for a birdie. Looked good out of his hand, but just a hair early.
Yeah, trying to cash this in right here. Or the hole will likely push. We're all around for a bunch of par putts and
can't quite do it. Tap in 3s from the group. Nothing to complain about there. I mean, like I said, this one's only worth 2 skins, so it's not like we're making big money moves, but this can get away from everybody if they let it build up too much.
Most definitely.
Hole 13, par 3, 320. You got an inside gap that you can take. This is in the long position as well, or you can just throw a forehand dead straight with some finish at the end. Either way, you're just trying to get up there for some kind of a putt. There's that straight gap from Coleton, it looked like.
This is another CTP, so you know I'm coming for it, trying to take that inside gap you were talking about, and that worked out pretty well.
It had a pretty good result. I mean, you can see all those trees you got to contend with, so that inside gap is a little squirrely. Occasionally you'll see people, even behind where Bruce is standing, throw like a backhand hyzer and try to get through all those trees and go like real crazy. But I think that inside gap is probably the risk-reward play that these guys are hoping to get to.
And Bruce taking the Anheuser route and just doesn't get the turn he needs, pushes forward.
Got the height right. That's what you want to see, especially if it's in the short. We get that high up around that last big tree, but not quite enough power to get there. There's a good strong forehand from Ethan.
Yeah, just that one kind of stays straight a little bit too, but
maybe caught some of the last trees there. A long putt from at least 2 people now, and you've had a good inside gap route, so nobody's close. There's that D1 from Mark again, just catching those early trees and knocking them pretty far back. That was kind of a dirty roll there.
Yeah, just got Craiged, just slightly.
So is that what we're calling it now, Craiged?
Oh yeah, you got Craiged.
If we started playing with every tree you hit with the disc we cut down, there wouldn't be any trees left at Craighead, unfortunately. Thank goodness we're not doing that. Looks like Mark and Elijah.
Ooh.
That was a good bid from Mark, just a little short.
He put so much spin on his putt that those long putts just get up there real quick. Real fun to watch.
Something he's been working on. It's been really cool to see him improve. I saw him when he first started, and where he's at now is just like night and day. He's still got a ways to go, but he's able to compete just fine with everybody.
Definitely. Oh.
Maybe just a touch deep, but that's one of the better runs from Elijah. Ethan just a little bit early there as well. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be close, so I think just making sure everybody gets up here for the 3 is going to be what everybody's looking for. A little short
A
from.
little short too.
Looks like your drive got up there pretty close. I think that's a CTP for you there.
Yeah, and Coleton's bid looked good from where we
Ooh.
were. Gets a roll away. Kind of takes out what I want to do. Try to play the floaty bid a little here. Let's see if we can cash it in.
I think y'all could make Colton's. Y'all could definitely make Colton's putt, but I think the smarter play would be just to lay it up. Well, it's still a little bit of a bid. Same roll, man. But
Yeah, we kind of did exactly the same.
thankfully, the other two teams are pretty close, so no pressure there. Hole 14, par 3, 235. One of the shorter holes on the course, especially for the back nine. Just a floaty hyzer shot. Something up high, let it crash into the green. That's all you want there.
Yeah, and we got, how many skins are we up to now?
I think we're at 3 or 4.
3 or 4 skins coming on this one. Some money to be made.
See, this is 14, so I think this is worth 3 skins here.
Yeah, I laced that gap. I just left it kind of low a little bit. Skipped up there. Still a putt. See if Coleton can get a little closer, though, for us.
This is another one of those holes where an ace is not out of the question. That's got the height on it there, but catches those late trees that you really gotta miss if you want to get inside that green. We did have some people walking, I believe, so we had to kind of take a little breather there to let everybody pass. Make sure these guys don't have any distractions. And
that maybe why you've been kind of held on to that one just a little long.
I might say that's the worst drive we've seen out of this whole coverage so far. I'm gonna razz my little brother here a little bit, but I mean that gap seems pretty wide, and I mean we've definitely seen people miss gaps before, but I think that was we got to see better.
I mean, there's a tree right there.
We got to see better from that. There's no doubt about it. And just a little short from Bruce as well. That's going to put them struggling on this easy hole here.
Yeah, me and Coleton are sitting up there pretty good. And look at that. That's hard work paying off right there. Mark, like we said,
been
predominantly
a
forehand player, but the backhand coming through clutch right there, taking the pressure off Elijah.
You can't count Ethan and Bruce out yet. I mean, they have been known to make some big putts and some big throw-ins, but
no doubt.
I'm not counting them in either. With two teams close, I think I'm gonna go ahead and count them out on this one.
Oh, and Elijah just cuts it inside a little too much. Looks like he had the right height on that, just inside a little.
Maybe trying for that ace run with a little flip up inside gap. It's a little easier to do. A little zoom in on this action. Trying to throw for that throw in, just a little short. Easy 3 from these guys. Looks like Ethan going back to that dog frisbee and the bite.
You dog, you.
And just missed it. There's that throw in. I said don't count them out, but couldn't quite bring it in for these guys.
There you go, Mark with the solo bird.
Big putt from Mark. Looks like we're arguing about some stances back there. Maybe a little heckling from Elijah trying to get in the head there.
Yeah, that's my partner, man. That's my partner.
No, I think it's all in good fun. They're just back there talking about stances and straddle putts, making sure that, I mean, this is pretty casual here, but you can't be having some foot faults. Hole 15, par 3, 251. You've got a skinny straight gap. You can just throw right up to the basket, or you can try to do like a little Anheuser flex shot, and both work just fine.
Yeah, Coleton reaching for that Thunderbird once again, showing the flick gap.
That's a really good shot by Coleton. Got all the way up there to the basket.
Yeah, this right position is tough to reach, especially if you don't have a flick. And yeah, he just pured it, made it look really, really easy. Coming up with this Raptor and just sawed another one up. Got a partner though, looking at a putt up there. Pressure's on the rest of the card. $50 on the line here. Mark flicking one up, hitting a tree.
I mean, this camera view makes this gap look so tight, and it is tight in person, but I think the camera narrows it down a good 10 feet or so. And those trees that everybody keeps hitting are definitely the normal trees, and you can see that first tree there where all the bark's gone, where just people have just hit it over the years, and I think disc golfers have finally killed that tree.
Yeah. Elijah snuck by it, but unfortunately hit one later down the fairway. Ethan going with the backhand, unlike the rest of the card. That didn't look bad. He was just a little low. If he had some height underneath it, I could have saw that one get into the basket.
Maybe just outside of circle 2 for a long putt.
Bruce lining up the flick.
Sliding just inside, not quite what he wanted.
Yeah, you can tell he's disappointed. He's got the flick shot to get up there, but they will have a circle 2 putt. Looked like Mark was running that.
And from back there, you kind of have to. Two teams at least around circle 1, circle 2. Anytime you can put a little pressure from way downtown, you know you want to.
Let's see what E-Dog's got going here.
So he took that justice that he throws a lot and just tried to hazard in the basket and got knocked down early.
Yeah, now we got Bruce. Is he in circle 2?
I would say he's either just inside or just outside, somewhere right there on the edge. It's a long putt either way. Drops it in just like Ethan did on hole 3 earlier.
To the same team.
Yep, same team, one for each. Now have either circle 2 or outside circle 2 putts.
Well, I meant to say against the same team. Me and Coleton up here again with a putt for birdie, and yeah, I thought that was in. I had a lot of chains, came out left, and I was really nervous right here. Actually was not watching Coleton putt this one. He's been carrying us most of the way today.
Just squeaks it in. He told me that tree was kind of in his head, so he was very thankful for that to slide into the basket. Hole 16, par 3, 203 feet. Once again, just a super tight, straight gap where you can kind of flex something over on the right side. You're going to see these guys probably taking the straight gap for the most part. And that's an unfortunate early kick there. You can see how tight they're trying to throw through. Kicked him way, what would be to the right of the view that we're viewing from, or the left of the tee box. And that's not in par position.
Thunderbird Park City.
I mean, that's like the only disc that he has in his bag, I'm convinced. But
we got a replay here?
Yeah, a little showing you just how many trees there are over there and exactly how close he's about to put this thing to the basket. Just textbook shot. Really, really putting the pressure on the next couple teams here.
Yeah, luckily that last set of skins pushed, so we got 6 skins on the line.
And not to be outdone, Ethan dropping in those collegiate competitions, those teammates are battling right back and forth, just puts one just as close, if not maybe a little closer. As you see that replay coming in there. It's more than likely going to be a push for this hole. We'd like to see some of these guys get aggressive with an ace.
Yeah, still got the ace putt out there. Bruce lining up the backhand turnover.
A really good line. And that's not quite as close as his partner, but I mean, that's still just a really textbook shot, taking an Anheuser play up the straight gap, moving away from all those trees. Looks like Elijah's lining up a thumber here. And first available tree is never what you want to see, but you got to think it was being thrown with good intentions.
He parked it in practice before that. Just one of those things that happens.
Looks like Mark maybe trying the straight gap as well, but caught an early tree. So they're going to be looking to just kind of keep pace, keep their stride going.
Oh.
That was so close to going in. Maybe just a half of an inch more, and that would have dropped in. You'll see that replay there, and slowing down just how close that really got.
Oh, man, once again.
I mean, that's 1 degree of hyzer or half an inch of more distance, and he would have just dropped that in and really, really made that a highlight putt there. Just a little low and caught one of those little tiny trees from Elijah. Not a bad bid, but
No, but we got Coleton tapping, Ethan tapping.
pushing on to hole 17, par 3, 302. You got 3 different lines. Both your blue lines there are your more normal routes, and then that pink line, that flex shot through the trees, is maybe your more local route. I would expect to see all 3 of those shot selections taken here by this card.
Yeah, and Coleton with that steady backhand opting for that backhand route to the right.
And made it through that right gap and skipped just a hair to the wide. Maybe wanted that just a little lower than what actually happened there.
Yeah, so I'm going to get aggressive, go up the middle, throwing this Raider, which has been absolutely money for me lately. And I honestly think it's perfect, but right there.
It just clips that last tree you got to hit. Looked so good out of the hand, but you really have to get those angles right to make that shot work. And that's why we call it the local route, because it doesn't always work as often as the other 2. And Ethan throwing that low skipping drive looks absolutely great out of his hand and pretty solid according to the catch cam view there as well. Can't complain about being 10 feet from the basket.
Yep, so partner Bruce, green light.
A little bit too much Anheuser out of his hand. Really hit that first initial gap on the right side, but just a little too much turn to keep drifting into that other fairway. And there's that power forehand coming out of Mark. On that D1, putting him just outside of circle
just got
1.
No skip though.
Some of those low short roots there kind of stop you up if you're trying to play for that low skip shot. But it could have been to his advantage too. He could have skipped and went 100 or so long.
I don't know. All 5 of my aces on Disc Golf Valley have come from skips, so it's the way to go.
I'm convinced Disc Golf Valley is rigged. I was watching people play that the other night. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we had a tough lie over here. There's some ghost limbs in our way too right here that kind of preventing us from getting, or from me from getting the height I wanted on that one.
And the good thing about doubles is you can see the mistakes from the first person and try to correct a little bit. And I think he corrected on the height, but didn't quite get the distance.
Yeah, now this is a huge putt coming up from Elijah because other teams parked $70 on the line.
Elijah really hasn't had to putt all day. He had a couple of putts earlier, but nothing from range. But in the face of adversity,
Cans it.
Just drops it right in there. You can tell Ethan was mouthing some very unhappy words.
It's okay, he's wearing shorts on a very, very cold day.
His frustration was very imminent, but we're pushing all the way into hole 18. This is worth all the marbles. 8 skins, par 3, 261. Just straight up the gut, a little uphill funneling out to the basket in the middle of the grass there. And Ethan throwing it textbook, skipping past the basket. Going to be a little long, but well with inside circle one. So that kind of secures a possible birdie from them.
Yeah, once again, Bruce getting the green light to maybe put an ace run on this.
You can kind of see those trees that make like a little wire V up there in the middle of the fairway. That's what catches a lot of normal shots. So if you can get through that or around that, you've thrown a really good one. And just maybe an early release or a late release there from Bruce as it connects early and kicks left.
Just never got the height under that one. Obviously not happy being the last hole and all.
But, as soon as Coleton pulls out his Thunderbird, he's thrown every shot he's thrown it today, he's put moves on it. So you got to expect that he would do the same thing here today.
And yeah, never really had a doubt. You're right.
Looks good out of his hand. Skipping up, maybe 15 feet from the basket. That ought to secure a birdie.
And possibly a CTP. This is a CTP hole too.
I did forget about that. That would bring him to $15 for CTPs on the day if he could hang on to that. And Mark putting a good bid. Oh. Nice little ace run there, just a hair to the left of the basket.
Yeah, he got the height needed on that forehand turnover.
And another tree by Elijah. Just not his day. But that's why he's got a partner there.
Yeah, and Coleton last to putt, meaning he's CTP.
Taking $5, bringing him to $15 for the day. Which means we're going into sudden death holes, playing hole 1, 10, 17, and 18 on the red course, mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah, pretty exciting stuff right here. Still 8 on the line here.
This loop of 4 is still decently easy, nothing too crazy and tough. So you would be expecting these guys to continue to push this until somebody really makes a mistake. So we'll see if somebody really messes up under pressure here.
Yeah, just a straight shot, downhill, and throw a putter mid-range. Looks like Bruce is doing just that, getting a good slide. That should be putting.
It's in the short pin, so you can really get aggressive on this first drive and know that those trees behind it are going to kind of be a little backstop for you if you mess it up too much. And Coleton's swinging it just a hair wide, and that's going to be pretty long.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't make a Thunderbird putter.
If he would be buying all of them if that was the case.
Yeah, so my time to hold my weight, playing the tactic, forehand, overstable mid-range.
Catching that last seater and dropping you just a touch short, but still with inside circle 1, I think, right there on the edge.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
So far, looks like both teams are going to be in there. Inside circle 1 or just outside, maybe. Mark leaving that a little on the left side, possibly got through. It's really hard to tell.
And Elijah, I think he said he's done. I'm done. I've had it.
He was hurting after all this golf
and all the work he put in the day before.
Mark missing just a hair wide. This is for big money, so these are the putts that have to count. But there are still 2 more teams to putt, so they're not out of it yet. And wide from Elijah too. A little uncharacteristic from both of them to both miss from just outside circle 1.
Yep, so Bruce can put the pressure on Coleton and myself with a birdie putt here.
And just wide again. I don't know if the wind was playing a factor here or if the pressure's really getting everybody now. Leaning on Ethan, who's been making putts all day, and just a touch low as well. We said right here that if two teams were to make mistakes, that might seal the deal.
Oh, there I am, choking again.
Putting it on one person's shoulders. This is an $80 putt.
$80 putt.
And calm and collected, walking it in. Knew it right out of his hands. That's big money moves. We got lots of people making lots of money today. Unfortunately, Elijah and Mark could only come out with $10. And so we'll have to get them in another one and see if they can't redeem themselves.
Yeah, definitely. It was a fun day. Struggled a bit. I think me and Coleton ended up taking the whole back nine though, which was a nice little comeback there.
Very solid. Big shout out to Prodigy Disc, the Jonesboro Disc Golf Club, and Disc Dot for helping us put this on. We'll see you on the next one.